Howdy folks, and welcome back to yet another Blender intermediate class, and this is part of our creation of a roof tile texture. So without any further ado, I'm going to show you how we actually create the mesh tile that we'll be using. So it's super easy to do. So first of all, we're going to add in from the add menu a mesh. We're going to go to a cylinder, there we go, and if I click the box at the bottom we can see it's got 32 vertices. That's fine, quite happy about that, so we can accept that. And I'm just going to go into wireframe mode and into edit mode and select vertex selection. I'm just pressing my numeric pad here to change the views. You can do the same by clicking on the little widget at the top there. Now first thing we're going to do is I'm going to press A a couple of times to get rid of those selections. I'm going to go into box select. I'm going to select all those vertices and I'm just going to delete them because we don't actually need those. I'm then going to do another box select. I'm going to select that pair of vertices there. You can see it's a pair. If I rotate the screen a bit and go back to that view, I'm now going to extrude that. So I'm going to key, and then we want to extrude it along the red line, which is the x-axis. So I'm going to press X, and then I'm just going to extrude that across. So roughly speaking, it's probably going to be about the same width as the actual kind of half circle. Just going to go into orthographic mode there, right? And let's go to look dev, I think it is. So now what we want to do, I want to scale that. So I'm going to do that in object mode. And I want to scale it on, in this case, which direction do we want to do it on? We want to do it on the blue direction, which is the Z direction. So I'm just going to press to scale, press the Z key, and scale it up a bit. So, does that look about right? It's not too far off, I think. Right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the object mode and I'm going to say shade it smooth. Then I'm going to go down to the modifiers, click on the modifier, and we're going to add a thickness to it. So, and in fact I think it's called solidify rather than thickness. So I'm just going to select the solidify option. Now we want an even thickness, so in the modifier here I'm going to click on even thickness, and then I can increase the thickness kind of one way or the other, and that's maybe a little bit too thick, so I'm just going to maybe something like that. Let's have a look and see what that looks like. Yep, that's not too bad. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply that. So I'm just going to click on the apply, and that's made it solid. That's made it into kind of solid mesh. Now you'll notice that the shade in the edges on it look a bit iffy, and that's because we've got smooth shading on it. There is an option, I believe, somewhere in the shader that you can tweak around with that. I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into edit mode. Some of these faces we don't actually need because we're not going to see the underside of the tile. So I am just going to delete. I'm going to select all of these faces and I'm just going to delete them. Just pressing the C key to get the circle selection brush up, and then we can say delete, press the delete key, choose faces, delete the faces. So that will leave us with just the top and the side. Now, because this is going to be the basis for our actual tile, for our mesh tile, I'm going to try and sort out the kind of texture anomalies on there. So I'm going to put in some loop cuts. Control R. Just move that up to the top. Select that one. And I'm going to move that one down. So we can do that with our little tool there, down to the bottom. And we'll probably need another loop cut on the edge. So we'll move that to the edge. We might well need another loop cut here. So just put another one in, and maybe one, not looking too bad, maybe one on the bottom here. So Control R, whoops, and if you move your selection around, there we go, that's better, then we can just place that. And I noticed we could possibly do with some along the bottom, an inside edge maybe. So let's have a quick look at that. Let's do Control R, and we'll want 2. We'll want one at the top, and we'll want to select this other one. See if I can grab it, and we will just move that. Press the G key. Oh no, that's not right. You want to move it along the normals, I think. So let's do G. Nope, that's still not it. You want to do an edge slide, I would imagine. So let's try edge slide. That's better. Just slide that in. Something like that. Maybe select that one. Whoops, whoops-a-daisy. Select that one. Hurrah! Got it. Select that one, and we'll do another edge slide on that. Slide it down just a tad. Okay. So I think that has sorted out our kind of shading problems. Let's just go back into object mode. Yep, that doesn't look too bad. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to probably rotate that on the x-axis. So rotate R, then press X. Then we probably want to do it in minus 90 degrees and enter. Now I'm going to go to object and do transform. No, I'm not. I'm going to go to apply all transformations. We can check that that has done it. On a scale of 1, which is cool. So next thing to do is we're going to use another modifier to create an array. So we want more than one tile, obviously. So we go back to our, with the object selected, we go back to our modifier stack, add a modifier, call it an array. We've got a relative offset going on there, which is perfectly fine for what we want to do. Relative offset of 1, and I'm just going to make my tiles. How many should we make them? 8. Should we do 10? Let's do 10. Brilliant. So that's that. And now, with that selected, I'm going to click on the modifier stack again, add modifier. We want another array. This time still a relative offset, but we're not going to go in the X direction, we're going to go in the Y direction. I'll set it for 1 initially. We'll maybe have, we want to get something that's approximately square shaped, something like 10 maybe. So that's all fine. Now what I want to do, I want to go into edit mode, and with our tile selected there, just want to rotate it a bit. I'm going to rotate it very slightly so that it's not entirely flat, so it's going at a bit of an angle. So I can just press on my R key to rotate, and then rotate it up a little bit. No, I can't. I need to select it all. Then press R to rotate it, and then just tweak it a tiny bit. Let's see what that looks like. That's not too bad, although I think we've got some gaps there, haven't we? So are those gaps going to show, I ask myself. Let's try rotating it a little bit less, so we can go rotate. We're going to do it in the X direction. I'm just going to hold my shift down so I've got a little bit more room on that. There we go. And just going to open that array, and I want to make that spacing on the array just a little bit less, maybe 9/8, just so that we're not going to see any nasty gaps. Don't know if we need to do that on the other one as well. So let's open that one, and let's make that one 0.99 as well. Okay, so that's our array completed. We can apply those modifiers. I'm just going to do that from the bottom up, so apply the bottom one first, which we need to do in object mode. So apply, next one, apply. So this is now mesh. The only drawback is it's actually one chunk of mesh, which for our purpose we don't really want. We want them to be individual tiles. So if we go to edit mode with everything selected, we can do select, we can do, there is a separate, if I can find it, I believe maybe it's under mesh. Separate, there we go, separate by loose parts. Hurrah! Ta-da! Right, and that has now made each one of those individual tiles its own separate object. That's important when we come to add in materials and such like to it. So I'm going to save my blend file. I suggest you do the same. I'm just going to save it to my desktop there and call it, I think I'm going to call it something like tile creation or mesh tile. Mesh tile 01 blend. There we go, and I'm just going to do a save on that. Right, so excellent. I hope you were able to follow along with that. Come along next time for part 3, well, we'll be adding the materials and UV maps. So thanks for watching today. Take care everybody. See you next time. Bye for now.